Hey guys, it's Justin. Today I want to share a little bit about the life lessons that I learned from traveling. So a little bit about my story. After college, I moved to Italy to work. I was usually traveling about 4 days out of the week. So that meant I was really experiencing tons of different countries and cities and meeting incredible people and really just getting to immerse myself in different cultures that I've never experienced before. Along the way, I really got to know more about myself and got to gain a little bit of knowledge about life and the rest of the world. These are things that I couldn't really have understood if I never traveled or went abroad. What's funny is that most of these lessons that I learned didn't really resonate with me until I moved back to the United States and got to experience the contrast from what I was living when I was abroad. So I want to make this video so that I can offer a perspective that someone who hasn't really had the opportunity to travel can benefit from. And I hope that this inspires more people to travel and to go out and learn more about themselves and generate their own life lessons. Okay, so the first lesson that I learned is that you have to take risks in life. It's my belief that every human has an innate desire to grow in some capacity or another. And the only way that we can grow is by stepping outside of our comfort zones and taking a risk. We can't grow if we are doing the same thing with the same people in the same place every day of our life. There's just no room for growth. So for me, moving to a different country was definitely outside of my comfort zone. Leaving my friends and family behind and not really knowing anyone and just moving to a new place, it was scary, but it was also the most rewarding experience of my life. And I wouldn't trade it for anything else. And I couldn't have possibly experienced this if I never took a risk. And I believe that we all just have so much potential, that each one of us has the potential to do things that we didn't really think we were capable of doing or just to be better. But it takes stepping outside of your comfort zone to be able to experience this potential. And I'm not saying that you have to go do what I did. You don't have to go pack your bags and move to a foreign country. It can be a small step, but what's important is that you're taking a step outside of your comfort zone. The funny thing is that, in my opinion, not growing and not willing to get outside of your comfort zone and not taking risks is by far the riskier option, because you're really just risking knowing your potential and you're risking becoming a better person and you're risking living a better, more fulfilled, amazing life. So I encourage you to take even the smallest steps outside of your comfort zone and make it a habit to just continue taking that step. And you'll be surprised by how much you're capable of doing. Okay, so lesson number 2 is probably the most important lesson that I learned, and that is to invest in experiences over possessions. Now, this is something that I could have only learned from traveling and leaving the United States, because here in the US, we pride ourselves on having things, having possessions. And we're told that buying things will make us more happy. We're judged by the model and the version of the things that we own. And the newer, the bigger, the better, the more successful you are, the better you are. And it's simply not always the case. And it's definitely not the case in a lot of other countries around the world. Let me be clear, I don't think that there is anything wrong with material possessions. I think a lot of them are cool, a lot of them are fun, and some of them are even necessary. But I think that we should prioritize experiences, or at least include more experiences in our lifetime. Because I believe that experiences have the power to change who you are. They have the ability to rattle you from the core and make you a better person and to bring about true happiness. Whereas possessions, on the other hand, just give short-lived happinesses. In the grand scheme of things, they only give you a little bump of joy. And then after that little bump of joy is over, then we go and look for the next thing to buy to make us happy. And I'm sure you could see this in your everyday life. I mean, at what point does your new iPhone just become another iPhone? So I think that instead we should invest and what has the potential to change us and to make us better people and just bring about true, real happiness from the inside. And that's just experiences like playing with baby elephants in Thailand, or taking that salsa class that you've always wanted to take, or helping build homes in earthquake-torn areas. I think 9 times out of 10, you'll find that experiences yield a higher return on investment. Lesson number 3 is to enjoy the moment. I know it's cliche, but traveling really put this one into perspective for me. There were times in my travels when I would encounter a truly special place. Places like Chefchaouen in Morocco, which is an entire city painted in blue. Everything from the walls to the pavement and the buildings, everything is painted blue. I knew that I would never really be able to experience this the same way again, or I might not even be able to come here again in my life. So it was important for me to teach myself to put the camera down and really immerse myself in the experience. Because no amount of pictures or videos that I took would allow me to relive what I was living in that moment. Now I make it a point to not only be present when I'm doing something cool and exciting, but also in my everyday, ordinary life. Because what I've realized is that if you're not enjoying the moments, if you're not being present, then you're living life on autopilot and you're just letting life's events pass you by. So my advice is, don't just do it for the gram. I know we're all guilty of it. I'm guilty of it. Take your picture, but once you're done, put your camera down and enjoy the moment. And the last lesson that I learned is to live life on your terms and no one else's. Always question why you were doing something. I found that for me, it was the best way to see if I was doing something because I actually want to do something, or because someone else wanted me to do something. You might be surprised by the answer. Muscling up the courage to live life the way you want to live can be intimidating and hard. But once you realize the power in not asking for permission to live life a certain way, you'll be free. For me, it meant not doing what was expected of me after college. What was expected of me was to either go to grad school or to get a corporate 9-to-5 job. And that's not what I wanted to do. What I wanted to do was experience the world and go see what else was out there. And so that's exactly what I did. And it was hard, but I knew that I had to do what I wanted to do, because I realized that if I didn't do this now for myself and did what was expected of me by society and my parents, then 5, 10, 15 years down the line, I'd be miserable living someone else's dream or someone else's expectation. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with grad school, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with corporate jobs. There isn't. There is no right or wrong answer here, but what is important is that you're doing things because you want to do it, not because it's what's expected of you. So guys, those are some of the most important lessons that I've learned in my travels. I challenge you to incorporate these into your own life. If this video brought you any value, please throw a like on it and subscribe to my channel. And let me know if you like these types of videos and if you want me to do more of them. Thanks, guys.